Record. Okay, now we're recording. Anyhow, palms up, big breaths out. I've remembered to click record every week except for this week. Anyhow. A few more easy breaths. Still keeping that heavy feeling in the shoulders and in your elbows. Just drop your chin to your chest. Lift that chin up to neutral. Allow your head to press back. So pull that chin in as if you're trying to give yourself a double chin or a triple chin. Take a couple breaths. Or a couple yawns. They have begun. All right, head back to neutral. You can turn your head left to right, shaking your head no. Inhale, and we're going to walk the fingertips forward and just nice, easy bend. You don't have to lay down flat on the floor. Just lean over here. Here, we're going to inhale. I'm going to get off my squishy pad here. Let's take the feet and place the bottoms of the feet together. Maybe take a moment and massage out through the feet. This is my favorite part of class. I'm going to start massaging feet. Your own feet. I'm not massaging y'all's feet. So for a moment, let's take the hands, place them behind us, and just lift the chest and the belly button slightly. So we're rolling the hips forward. The idea here is whenever you sit in your cobbler position, your back probably starts to round a little bit. We're trying to push and lift so that our pelvis actually rolls, and we'll get a little bit more of a stretch here on the inside of the thighs. So you should feel like your pubic bone is dropping toward the floor a little bit. If you don't know where your pubic bone is, use your imagination. Big breath in, we're gonna exhale and fold it forward. You can grab hold of your feet and now you can relax through the spine. So just nice, easy bend forward. You're gonna inhale, draw it on up, place the hands behind. Just flip the knees one side into the other, maybe like 3 passes on each side. Okay, then we're gonna drop the knees off to one side, let them settle down. You can lift the hips up. Let's get a big rotation away from the front. So you should have your arms kind of placed on top of those knees, and we're turning to look behind us. Okay, then we're gonna inhale, come through the center, and then drop off to the other side. Sorry, just checking here. Okay, dropping off to the other side, same thing. Hand right on top of the thighs and rotate. So we're trying to continue that deeper breath so that we're stretching in through the side of the body. So as you inhale, you'll feel like you're actually stretching against the position that you're in. Okay, then we're gonna return to the front. Let's place those feet together again. If you have to, you can give yourself some more space away from your feet. And we're gonna try this, sit up nice and tall. We're gonna try to keep that strength through the middle of the belly and lift the hands up off of the feet, hands at your chest. So we're lifting the chest into the hands. The middle part of your back probably feels super strong right now. Big breath in. We're gonna exhale, send the hands up. Still keeping that lift through the chest. It's probably getting really tight right now. Breathe in. And we're gonna exhale and fold it forward. So now you should feel like a really nice long fold over. And we're reaching those hands out as far as they will go. Hopefully no one got a back cramp. Couple more easy breaths. All right, so we're gonna inhale and bring it on in. So we're gonna go straight into a 90-90. We've got one leg kind of already set up. We're gonna take the other leg and just flip it off to the side. And so notice that I've got lots of space here between my front foot and my knee. And same thing with my heel and my butt, lots of space here. I'm not tucked in tight, okay? And that's just so that we can get deeper into the hips and get more of a stretch. So we're gonna turn toward that front leg. And for a second, we're gonna settle in to this shape. So if you have to move around a little bit, get yourself settled on the mat more, you can do that. But feel like you're moving this back knee out and away from the midline of your body, and you're sinking your hips down toward the mat. A big breath in, we're gonna exhale, fold it over that front leg. You don't have to collapse all the way down. And remember, we're not trying to crank into a particular shape. So you're just trying to fold over, find that sticky point where your body doesn't want to go much further, and just hang out there. Okay, we're gonna inhale, come up. We're gonna try to have a lifting feeling now through that front leg. So try to feel like you're lifting through your front knee, or even trying to lift that front foot off the floor if you're feeling super zealous. Just picking that knee up, big pull through the inside of the front knee. Breathe in, exhale, drop that leg down. We're gonna try it one more time, folding over. See if you can fold slightly further this time. It's like magic. Yoga magic. Okay, we're gonna inhale and come on up. Let's repeat on the other side. So we can take this leg, flip it around, or you can just flip your whole body over if you want to pretend like you're a break dancer for a second here. The same thing, lots of space between your front foot and your knee, and your back heel and your butt. That way you get lots of big, deep stretches here. So we're gonna move, shift that back foot out and away from the hips. And we're sitting up nice and tall. We're just gonna settle in for a moment. So especially when you first get here, you should feel like knees popped up, hip doesn't want to sink, not super comfortable. Give yourself a second to kind of relax into the shape we've already made. Hips cramping. All right, hands are gonna go out. We're gonna fold it over. Once again, kind of relax through the spine, but you don't have to sink all the way down to the floor. All right, inhale, let's draw up. So same thing, we're gonna settle the hands back. We're gonna have that lifting feeling through the front leg. So if you're feeling extra awesome, you can try to lift your whole leg up. Might also find it's easier on one side than the other. Remember, hip structure might be different on one hip or the other hip. Nice and tight. One more big breath in. You can exhale to place that leg down, and then go ahead and fold it forward. Probably reaching further this time. Okay, we're gonna inhale and draw it up. Let's take that leg, put it behind us. Woo! Did a whole bunch of hip stuff right off the get-go. So let's Wag a little side to side. Super happy dog. Our dog had surgery yesterday, so she looked like this just trying to stand up. She was a little drunk. So letting the hips go as far off to one side as you can and shoulders to the other. Okay, now we're gonna curl the toes under. So if you can, curling the toes under, just settling there for a second in case your feet are, a little bit stiff. We're gonna walk the hands forward a little bit and then set the hips back. So like downward puppy kind of deal. So stretching out through the upper body. Remember, you don't have to go all the way back if it hurts your knees. You also don't have to keep your hands way up here on the mat if it's bugging your shoulder. So you can pull your hand out to the side and just leave the other hand up. Remember, don't push it unless, it's comfortable. 2 more breaths. Okay, we're gonna come forward again. You can go ahead and settle those feet flat. Let's bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. And we're gonna go through a little bit of a rotation here on our upper body. So let's take a hand and place it behind the ear. We're gonna bring the elbows together and then turn and lift the elbow towards the ceiling. So kind of like a abbreviated thread the needle. Okay, so elbows come together and then up towards the ceiling. One more time, elbows together and then up toward the ceiling. We're going to place that hand down again. Let's repeat on the other side. So first of all, make sure that your hand is directly underneath your shoulder. We're going to bring the hand behind our ear, elbows together. And then turning, flipping that elbow toward the ceiling. Try to turn your chest as well. Okay, elbows together. And again, turning. Big rotation through your upper back. One more time, elbows together. And then big rotation. Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and walk the body forward. Settle those hips down nice and easy. We're gonna place the forearms down on the mat. Open up through the chest. Apparently yawning is really good for you, so I must be extremely healthy. Okay, I yawn all the time. Forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah. Okay, so we are going to, let's settle down for a second actually. Let's settle the forehead down to the mat. Relax through the low back. It's a little bit of archy stuff there, so maybe your low back is kind of yucky, or if you've got some low back stuff going on. We did a whole bunch of hip stuff, so maybe it's not happy right now. Try to get that heavy sinking feeling. Try to sink your low back and your belly down toward the mat. You can rest your forehead on the back of your hands. Couple more easy breaths. We're going to pull those elbows in one more time. We're going to go into a plank. So pressing those forearms down, we're going to curl the toes under again. Big breath in and exhale. You can lift your hips up off of the ground. And if you want to drop your knees down, you can, but try to curl through your hips, tuck your tailbone. Give it a couple of breaths. Also on that last exhale, you can drop the knees down. We're going to stretch back for a moment. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna turn so you can see me. We're gonna take one leg and place it off to the side. Now we did something similar the other day. So one knee is gonna stay underneath the hip, other leg is gonna go off to the side. Rather than stretching back, we're gonna actually stretch over to the side. So we're gonna be here making the gate pose. Knee stays down, hand is over to the side, you got the other leg extended out. So notice I'm actually taking my hips and pressing them forward. So try to move your hips forward. You'll feel a big stretch here on the side of the body. And then once you get into this shape, you can take the other hand and stretch it away. So no hips back. Try to push those hips as far to the front as you can. Two more big breaths, keeping those hips forward. And we're gonna do something fancy. You can take your hand, place it down for a sec. Let's take the knee that's underneath us, just move it out some, and then bend the knee that was straightened. And we're gonna go into a side plank. You can either stay here on your hand or drop down onto your elbow. Keep those hips lifted. Tighten up nice and strong through the side of the body. 3 deep breaths. Trying not to sag the hips. And we're gonna go ahead and drop on down. Okay, so we're gonna repeat that on the other side. So hopefully you remember which knee you were on. So let's come back up onto the knees. This time, opposite leg is gonna go out. We're gonna place the hand down on the mat next to us. Okay, so knee under the hip, other leg's that way. Same side hand here, down. We're gonna press the hips forward. So open up through this part of the body. So torso, front of your hip. And then once you're there, we're gonna reach that hand up and over. Couple more breaths. One side might feel most stretchy than the other. Okay, we're gonna bring that hand in and down. You can settle it down to the floor if you need. We're gonna take the knee that's under us, just scooch it away. Bring that other leg in, and you can either end up in a high plank or you can drop your elbow down to the mat like we just did a moment ago and do a forearm plank. 3 deep breaths. Awesome, you can settle those hips down and give your wrists a little rest if you need to. You can circle them out. Did a whole bunch of stuff on the hands. Okay, and then we're gonna meet in a standing position. So nice and tall. Realize that I have flip-flop tan lines. Means I'm a real Floridian now. All right, so feet a shoulder width wide. Back up. Feet a shoulder width wide. Stand up tall for a moment, palms forward. Knees aren't locked, they're just a little bit soft. Hips are underneath the shoulders. Chest is nice and open. Big breath in, we're gonna exhale, send the hips back, reach the hands down toward the floor. Softening through your upper back. Let's take those hands and walk them out toward the outside edge of one of the feet, or maybe to the middle of one of your feet. And then walking through, reaching to the other side, same thing, little rotation. Come back to the center. Let's do knees forward, hips forward, bring the chest up, hands behind you. We're clasping the hands. either pulling the elbows back or straightening through the arms, big lift through the chest. So we're gonna release those hands. Now let's bring the hands together at the chest. So one more time, lifting the chest into the thumbs, into the hands. We're gonna turn the toes out just a little bit. So I've got mine out at like 45 degrees. We're gonna keep those elbows pressed in and down. So keeping that inward pressure on the hands. Chest is lifted, big breath in. We're gonna exhale, squat the hips back, move the elbows down toward the inside of the thighs, and just stop wherever's comfortable. Take a big breath in, and exhale, stand on up. Okay, so we're still keeping that lift in the chest, even as we squat down. Just turning so you can see. Again, big breath in. Exhale down. If you can go further down. You don't have to. Take an extra breath while you're here. And on the exhale, bring it on up. We're gonna do that one more time. Same thing. Catch your breath if you don't have it. Big breath in. Exhale down. Hold it for an inhale. Now we're gonna actually place the fingertips down on the mat. On the exhale, we're gonna lift the hips slightly. This is gonna be enormously uncomfortable, but you will survive. Try to keep your fingertips attached to the mat, and knees are not gonna be straight. Breathe in. Exhale, dip the hips. So a little relief on the back of the hamstrings, but a little bit of burn on the front of the thighs. One more time, big breath in. Exhale, lift the hips. Don't hate me, you'll be fine. Awesome, and now we're gonna go ahead and settle the hips all the way down on the mat. So we're working on real mobility here, okay? If you can get up and down off the floor, you're actually mobile. All right, you can lay back on the mat for a second. Let's take the hands, stretch them up overhead. Smack random things over your head. Remember, if you can't reach your hands up overhead, to only reach the hand, the shoulder that doesn't bother you. Taking one arm, stretching across, just grab with the opposite arm. And repeating, you can stretch across, grab with the opposite arm. We're gonna inhale, let's bring those knees up toward the chest, little hug. In case no one's hugged you today, you can hug yourself. I think I'm funny, that's all that matters. Big breath in, exhale, send the legs out underneath you. You can lay palms up. And you can either stay here or you can flip over onto your belly. Let's spend these last couple of minutes nice and relaxed. Just breathe easy. I'm gonna lay here for another moment or two. But obviously you're on your own, so if you need to lay here a little longer and give yourself more time to just be calm and separate yourself from everything going on outside of where you are, that's fine. Thank you guys very much for coming. I'm gonna, I had these classes scheduled until the end of May. I'm gonna continue to schedule them out at least until the end of June, if not longer. So I'm gonna also set up reminders and whatnot. So like I've said, we are open. You're welcome to come in for class if you want to. The camera will be set up so where no one else can see you if you are here. Otherwise, you're welcome to continue to do it online. And if you would like to donate, you're welcome to, but obviously no one is required to. So you guys have a great rest of your week because we are halfway through it. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye.